Oh.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Grimm,
I'm Violet.
and we are heading out once more. And not too long ago, a fan made a comment on one of our videos saying that they're starting to look a little easy. More like camping. And I had to be honest with him and myself that after doing this for 4 years, some aspects are getting a little bit easier. So, for me, I'm going to start taking things away from my pack. And in this one, I am not allowed to use a ferro rod to make any of the fires. I can do solar, I can do friction, maybe find some steel wool out there, I don't know. I can do those, but I cannot use a ferro rod. And I think that is going to start pushing myself, and then also giving Violet a chance to use more of her gear as well and to get more experience with it. So she can use a ferro rod, but I can't.
I will.
You will?
Yes.
So we got some new gear and we're on a new adventure. So why don't you join us on this bug out adventure? We've made it out of the deep jungle below, and now we found our camping spot. Got plenty of flat ground for Violet, and plenty of trees for me to hang from. I think I'm going to be living on the edge on this trip. No sooner did I turn off the camera after saying, "Here's our camp," and the sun dipped right behind that ridge, so no solar fire for me. But that doesn't mean Violet can't get some practice in. So she is using the firebox because, as you can tell, our wood supply as of right now is pretty...
It's really wet. It's been like monsoon season. It's wet.
It's wet and it's fairly minuscule, so we want to use something that's going to burn the wood the most efficiently. You got your lint there?
Yep.
So why don't you give that a whirl?
Okay.
Why don't you fluff it up a little bit more?
Okay.
I am not touching.
You're not touching.
I'm not touching. You pull it apart and get it like really kind of thin fibery.
Okay.
Because also there's some moisture in this air, so that's going to be combating you as well. While she's doing that, in the firebox, she has some dry grass that she found, and then all these dried pine needles that are behind the camera, and then some sticks. So it should, when she gets that flame started, she's going to put the firebox over top, which I've done this method before, and it works out pretty well.
Not fall off this rock.
Ah!
Okay.
There you go.
Now what do I do?
Slowly put that down because you don't want to smother it.
Okay.
Let that burn, baby, burn. Good, it's catching the pine needles that you put down in there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's catching inside. Move it around a little bit. Slower, slower. And I think you're lit on the inside now.
Okay. So
You are. And it's gonna slowly burn up. You can probably put it down now.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. See? A little bit of time. Probably took longer than you thought, right?
Yeah.
But how good did it feel that you finally did it?
I'm very pleased with myself.
Oh yeah, flame's coming up. Right, start feeding it. Well, now that Violet got the fire started, it is conflicted card time. And let's see here. You picked last time.
Yes.
And Fallout drew the time before last. So
Okay.
it's my turn. No, I'm gonna do right there. And the conflicted card reads as such. An electromagnetic pulse, EMP, went off and you have about 2 weeks worth of food and water in your pantry and $200 of cash. You also have a handgun, about 300 rounds of ammo, and 4 family members to look after. So a total of, there's 5 of you. What would you buy with the $200 worth of cash before total chaos took over, and why? You wanna go first or me?
You can go first.
Alright. Cars are not most likely gonna be working, no cell phones, possibly no radios, I mean just everything with electronic circuit, done. So I think what I would do with the $200 is purchase, I guess not your ordinary tradable commodities. It might be not ordinary, not your gold or anything like that, because you're not going to be able to buy $200 worth of gold. It's not going to be a lot. $200 worth of bullets, that's not going to get a lot. Gas is possibly not that important because of the cars. So I would go with things like medicine, like your ibuprofen, your Tylenol, your antipyretics, your anti-inflammatories. Allergy medicine, anything like an antihistamine, any like that. $200 worth of that. I mean, you don't even have to get the crazy stuff. I mean, just get like Tylenol. I mean, $200 worth of Tylenol, it's going to be a decent amount, and no one's going to think of that. Or booze, liquor, because that has a lot of uses besides taking the edge off of like, hey, we're in an apocalypse, let's party, you know. So yeah, I mean, like booze, medicine, again, your unconventional tradable commodities. That's what I would do with my $200.
Bleach.
That is so you're on the same vein.
Kind of on the same vein.
That's a good one.
I have a thing about being clean.
But that's a good one though.
Yeah, bleach and baby wipes.
Bleach and baby wipes.
So many, bleach.
Okay.
But bleach, also because water, if all the circuits are down, then that also means like plumbing will work.
Not necessarily, because the pump stations might be down.
The pump, yeah, it's true. Okay, so
But no,
electricity, no, but like if you're on a well, then yeah, you're done. But if you're on the main, you might have some going.
Maybe.
But if you're on the well, then you're screwed.
But bleach, that's
bleach, yeah.
That's a $200 worth of bleach because
It's
disinfectant.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have sewage stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Sewage is gonna be, so you're gonna have to like make your own latrines, and bleach is gonna be definitely necessary to keep some hygiene, some deep hygiene going. You can use it to clean water too.
Yeah.
Great idea. So again, like I guess a non-ordinary tradable commodity.
And it's cheap. Bleach.
It's true. It's true. But
Yeah.
that's what I would buy with my $200, and why? That's what Violet would buy with her $200. So now we want to know what you would buy with your $200. So leave it down in the comment section down below, because we'd love to read them and might have some ideas that we haven't thought of. And if you enjoy these conflicted cards, do check out the sponsor link that's going to be in the description. Check them out, buy a pack for yourself, enjoy them, because it always helps out Bug Up Boys.
So hopefully I'm actually seen, seeing as my main problem with these has been I have like magic hands, but no one can actually see my face.
Out in the open, I don't have my pad, the weather is extremely gorgeous, no bugs, and I am just gonna lie here and soak up the stars.
I am continuing to be very grateful that it is not snowing, but it's been swapped out for humidity, down near the water in particular, and then me stepping in the water a lot, so I've got some wet socks. I'm glad I have a second pair.
Very proud of Violet. She stuck with it. I know that she was getting frustrated, but she stuck with making that fire, and she did a great job.
It might be time to talk about getting some higher boots. I can't change my shortness, but I can change the height of my boots.
And hopefully tomorrow will be nice and sunny, so I can practice doing some solar fires.
So I'm excited to go exploring tomorrow. Definitely going to go see the waterfall. I'm excited for that and to climb out on some of the rocks. And yeah, good night.
Good night. Day 2. And I did have to get my quilt out for a few parts. Got a little bit cooler. Obviously no protection from the wind, but when I said that I was sleeping on the edge, I wasn't kidding. That's a drop off right there. But that was my beautiful view to wake up to. And looks like there's going to be plenty of sun. It's going to be great for making a solar fire. So see what Violet's up to and get our day started. We found some water. Not a pond. Violet doesn't like ponds. The weather is not cooperating with me at all. But we are back.
It's hot,
It is hot.
but I'll take hot.
You'll take hot?
All day, I'll take hot.
But we just got back from collecting all that gorgeous water, and we wanted to do it one time, so we loaded up heavy. But I want to show you, I actually modified my dromedary bag with this camelback because I liked how you could switch out the tips. So I did a little cutting and boiling and modifying, and now I'm really enjoying it. Because another thing I was noticing with the clear tubes, because the sun can get at the clear tubes, fungus and stuff starts growing in there a lot faster than when you have these covers over it. Plus, it's a little bit thermal, but I'm ready for a nice cold drink. Bear with me. Well, Violet got herself a way to process wood, and she's gone with, it looks like, nice folding saw there, which seems to be making quick work of it. And how's it working for you so far?
I'm happy with it.
Nice.
I got angry at the pine, so I stopped. I like this better.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, these have nice flat edges, so it only makes sense that I could probably use my tomahawk to split them down into better wood, but that means I gotta have it sharp. And typically speaking, I sharpen this every time I come back, but just to make sure I have a nice sharp edge on it, I always have a folding sharpener with me, and this is from DMT. It's got 2 different sides to it, so if you really mess things up, you got the coarse, you got the fine to keep it nice and sharp. But if you want to know my full review of the DMT folding sharpener, check out the link. It's going to be popping up in the corner. Still waiting for that sun to pop out, and it's not looking good. So while I'm waiting, I figure I need to come up with another idea of making fire, and I remembered seeing some trash. And there it is. Not really interested in the bottle. I'm interested in the can. I think this one will do just fine. Never tried this before, but the idea is that I'm going to cut this can out using my multi-tool or whatnot into a thin ribbon, like almost like a wire, and hope I can short circuit it on one of the batteries that I have. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it really nice and thin right here in the center, so this will heat up when I touch both of these sides to, or maybe these sides, to the battery. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so I have cut this to almost dangerously thin, and I scraped off the paint so I know I get a good contact with the battery. Got some sawdust and dried grass here. I see nothing happening. I mean, I've seen people do this with gum wrappers. I'm not sure if I've seen anybody do this with a can.
Oh. Okay.
Time to make another one. Alright, now we found some more trash. This is more closely to a gum wrapper, which is where the idea came from. More smoke. Come on. How many attempts is this?
4.
4. We got some
Maybe.
lint. I got some lint in there now. At least we got some smoke.
Yeah, this works a lot better than the can.
No sun, and my, I guess, improvised gum wrapper battery technique didn't work either. So I'm going to have to probably lean on the fire making skills of Violet there,
Oh dear.
which you've been doing really well.
I've been doing better.
You've been doing better.
Been doing better.
But while we were looking around, Violet saw something, and that's these. And these are
Blueberries.
blueberries. Wild blueberries. So I think I'm gonna pick these and see if I can bribe her to do the fire, so we can have a fire.
Yes.
So I got lots of great wood and no spark.
For you.
It's alright. You learn. You learn, and this is, well, actually this is a great example of, if you're a solar fire person, it's not always going to work out for you. So always have multiple backups of making fire.
Yeah.
Want a blueberry?
Yes.
Ooh. Blueberries.
I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Violet's gonna help us out once more. And I did a lot of work to get this particular
Yes, you did.
together. I did a lot of prepping for it. Because once you finally grab that ignition, you want to catch flame and keep that flame. So, actually, speaking of that, while she's getting this fire started, if you want to check out the link for the bot after ignition, I highly recommend it, because as Violet has found out, getting that spark is very difficult. And when you finally get that flame, you don't want to lose it. Violet and I are doing a little bit of a recon, and some of these rock formations are just absolutely
Awesome.
well said. I mean, just a sheer wall right on up.
Get up here. That's a good point. Over there.
Yeah.
I am particularly tired. I've been dealing with a sinus infection and ear infection from last week, and I'm still on some of my medication, and that is zonking me out.
Night 2. And it is another gorgeous night. No stars, because got cloud cover, which led to me not being able to make a solar fire.
From this trip, I've kind of learned that I need to spend more time packing my pack, because I forgot some things that are creature comforts, but things that I found to be very important, like my baby wipes.
I improvised, and it didn't work. So I'm going to go home, I'm going to do some research about those ways of making fire, see where I messed up.
And I'm feeling pretty good about making fire now. I feel a little bit more useful.
Me failing gave Violet an opportunity to make every single fire this trip. And I think that in itself is a success. I hope she's happy with her accomplishments as well this day. So with that, good night.
Good night.
Day 3. And not a bit of sunshine. Clearly I was not meant to do a solar fire this trip. But got down to 62 last night, so I used the quilt again, but very, very comfortable. Now I guess I need to impress upon Violet once more to make a fire so we can have some breakfast, pack up, and then get on our way. Blueberries and some wintergreen that we found, and of course we have our oatmeal. Breakfast of champions. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna put a couple of these blueberries in to my oatmeal. It never hurts to augment the food that you brought with things that you foraged out of the woods, because it will help make your food go farther. It's what I did when I went out for 5 days alone, because I only took 3 days worth of food with me.
Yeah.
So even though this might not look like much, these are bonus calories, vitamins, and minerals. Well, it's nearly time to pack up. We had our breakfast. And one thing that I like to do when I'm packing up is look at all my gear, the ropes for my hammock, any sort of ties that are part of my sleep system, and also just the clothes on me. And I noticed that this button down here, I know you're not going to be able to see it very well, sorry, is actually starting to get down to a few threads. So I have my sewing kit with me that I made, and I'm probably just going to put a couple loops to that. And you might ask, why do that now instead of maybe back home? Well, I could be hiking out of here and that button finally dropped, and that's a lost button, and buttons are gold, really, if you think about it. But if you want to know how to make your very own sewing kit, check out the link that's going to be popping up in the corner for the Pioneer Prep, and I'll show you how to make it yourself. And as you can see from behind us, we cleaned up camp very nicely. And we're off. Back down to hopefully not so humid part of this area.
I think it will be.
Probably.
It's a lot cooler.
It is a lot cooler.
I don't think I'm going to get as wet this time. That looks a lot better. I'm pretty sure this is the first of like 4.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this bug out episode. I know that I didn't get to do the solar fire, but like I said earlier, there's lessons learned from that, and also gave Violet plenty of opportunities to practice with her fair rod. So, Violet, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling more comfortable with the fair rod for sure. Like, there's normally some grumbles when I do fires, but I felt like this morning in particular, it was just like, I just kind of did it, which is nice.
Good.
And I definitely need to spend more time getting organized before I go out because I have stuff now, I have more gear, but it doesn't do me any good if it's sitting on my coffee table.
Well said.
So I need to be a little bit more organized before heading out, or just making sure that my stuff is packed all the time. Like when I get back, I clean all my stuff out, I put it back, it's ready for next time.
Right, I mean, I'm guilty of forgetting stuff too, so don't beat yourself up too much about it. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time.